guys? Welcome to another edition of Pro Wrestling Pulse. I am J-Man. This edition of the Pulse, we are going to give you our WWE The Beast in the East preview. Coming this Saturday, July 4th on the WWE Network at 5:30 Eastern AM, 4:30 here, St. Louis Central Standard Time. This is awesome. This is everything in a nutshell that the WWE Network provides to all viewers, all wrestling fans, everyone that subscribes to the network. This is what it's all about. I mean, this is really cool. It's the ability to have the first ever live WWE broadcast in Japan, in Tokyo, Japan, to air this. First hearing about it, I'm like, oh yeah, it'll be some sort of taped delay thing, and they'll show it, a couple days later or a week later and chop it up and edit it. Nope, live, straight from Tokyo, Japan, to the WWE Network. I'm not even going to try Kurgan, something, I don't even know what the fuck it was. It is a very famous venue in Japan. I know they have a lot of New Japan and stuff like that shows there. But this is what the WWE Network can provide for you here, and we're excited for it. I don't think it's going to be anything, crazy, awesome type show. You're probably going to get the first set of this looks like pretty much just house show material, to be totally honest with you. A lot of the stuff they'll just probably run through and really build around, having Brock Lesnar there. And then having the NXT title match, which we're really looking forward to here. But just so cool that this is what opportunities the WWE Network provides. This is what kind of cool stuff they could do, and they're capitalizing on it. Everything with NXT, and now with what they're doing here and airing it live on the WWE Network, we're gonna somehow try to be awake for that to catch this, and we're gonna go ahead and get this preview out for you guys. One thing we need to mention over the past couple of days that. Word is that there's a 2-hour block that they have set up for on the WWE Network to have this show air. So there could be some stuff that's cut out of here. There's obviously some stuff that could get cut out that we won't be too upset about. But hopefully we get a main portion of what we're wanting to see on this. I know Jericho is on this card. I think he has an exclusive deal where it's a non-televised type contract with mostly house shows. I know that's what he did last year. He worked a bunch of house shows with guys he wanted to work with. Because he's Chris Jericho, and that's badass. So I don't know if maybe his match will be maybe cut off of it because of the contract issues. Who really knows about that? But they're going to cram in here what they can of the 2 hours, and I'm sure we'll get a good portion of this card here. But we're going to go ahead and run it down for you. First matchup, we have Cesaro going up against Diego, Los Matadores. Obviously, Cesaro partnerless with Tyson Kidd getting injured in that dark match with Samoa Joe a couple weeks ago, suffering a severe spinal injury, having surgery, and everything looked like the surgery went well, so he'll be out probably close to a year if he even does come back. I know there's a lot of word with, he got calls from Edge and Stone Cold about how severe those type of injuries are, neck, spinal cord, everything, obviously super severe, so hopefully Tyson Kidd, we could see him back in the ring healthy. If not, obviously it's for the best reasons for that. But, this will be whatever. Hopefully they'll make Cesaro look really good here. I got Cesaro winning this matchup. Hopefully get him on a solid push. I know they had a match with Kevin Owens on SmackDown a couple weeks ago. That was cool to see. And hopefully they just push Cesaro. I mean, he's a guy that we've been wanting to see get pushed for a very long time. He's one of those naturally athletic and gifted, competitors and wrestlers on the face of this earth. And he's definitely a guy that deserves that push. And I think this could be an opportunity with Tyson out and maybe giving Cesaro that push here. But probably nothing special here. Look for Cesaro to look strong, and I'm going with Cesaro getting the win.
Be nice to see Cesaro getting a push, or just put him with a new tag partner, like the one that hurt his other one.
Yeah, sure. Right.
That's Cesaro winning this.
Probably nothing really too crazy special there, just like an opener card type thing. But next matchup, we have a tag matchup here with the Lucha Dragons going up against the New Day of Big E and Xavier Woods, because Kofi has got his hands full, I would say, towards the end of this card. This one could be some pretty good stuff given the time. It probably won't get that much time. I wouldn't expect it to. But, you got some guys that could go out there and put on a fun little short matchup here, Raw type matchup. Winner, I really don't know. I guess I'll go with Lucha Dragons getting the win. They usually tend to, whenever they go over to foreign countries, do a lot of face wins and this and that. So look for this one to be a short, sweet, nice little fun tag match. I'm going to go with Lucha Dragons getting the win.
I see this being a little spot fest thing. I see Lucha Dragon winning this also.
Yeah. Next matchup, we have a rematch back from Money in the Bank, I believe it was. We have a triple threat matchup. I don't know, I think it might have been in the Chamber. I don't know. They did a triple threat a couple months ago. I can't remember. We have a triple threat matchup for the Divas title. We have champion Nikki Bella, Paige, and Naomi. Pretty much stock. Everything you pretty much see here that's really been going on here. Again, just throwing out what they've been doing with the Divas division here soon. Hopefully, looking like we could possibly get a call up from NXT coming up with what they're setting up for Battleground here in St. Louis that we'll be attending. Could possibly get an NXT call up, which should be some good stuff with the women down there that are just excellent. But yeah, obviously Nikki is going to retain here. You're not going to set up anything to lose over on a 4 o'clock show in the AM for that, even though there could be something at the end of this show that they could be doing. But for this, it looks like it's set up for something down the road to be a title change, not for one here. So I'm going to go with Nikki retaining in pretty much a stock and Divas match that's going to be the exact same of what we've seen.
That's just the pee break.
Yeah, pretty much. If you or like a little short nap, little like 6-minute nap we could take for that time period. Next up, we have another tag matchup. We have a random one here with Dolph Ziggler and John Cena going up against King Barrett and Kane. This is your stock house show tag match, like main event type thing that you'd get where you just kind of shove a bunch of the stars just into random tag matches. A lot of word lately that we haven't really talked about because a lot of things with Dolph Ziggler. His contract and this and that, and talk of him possibly opting out and leaving WWE and this, the internet, man. I just fucking no source, just bullshit comes out sometimes, and who knows where this really is rooted at, whether it's in truth or just in complete bullshit. But it just gets blown so out of proportion, and that's just some of the problem that I have with the internet and when it comes to wrestling and just how it just oversaturates the shit out of it, and it just, it just pisses me off sometimes because just people go on, and then you have Dolph come on there and be like, God, you fucking retarded ass marks. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. And that's pretty much the exact case of what's going on here, but who knows what's going on with that. Probably not going anywhere, more than likely. I don't know why the hell he'd want to leave, but I'm sure if he sticks it out, and a lot of people, what's been happening with Dolph and this and that, and how he's been treated, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, you fucking people are just so fucking stupid. But yeah, nothing. It's just a bunch of random shit right here. You're gonna go obviously with the faces getting the win here with Ziggler and Cena, just to get them all on the card instead of splitting it up and having multiple matches here and there. But just your stock, pretty much Raw match, house show, main event type match thing here. Nothing special. You get your little short 6-7 minute match, get your spots towards the end. The face looks strong, and Ziggler and Cena getting the win in this matchup.
This is gonna be the end of my 12-minute nap.
12-minute nap, right? All in this stockpile moment right there. Here we're getting to the kind of interesting ones here. Next matchup, we have Brock Lesnar going up against Kofi Kingston. Yeah, I can't make that shit up. We have Brock Lesnar against Kofi Kingston. Now, this is the tail end of this card where it starts to look like a 2002 Insurrection show, where it's just kind of just really random but fun put together matches. That could be really, really good, and in this case it won't be anything because it'll just be Brock Lesnar pretty much murdering Kofi Kingston for however long this lasts. Just need to give all our well thoughts and
prayers,
everything to Kofi Kingston to hopefully he makes it out of this alive. But yeah, I mean, if they work something out of this, it could be pretty fucking awesome. I mean, a Kofi Kingston or Brock Lesnar, that's just the ultimate David versus Goliath thing there you got going on. But it'll more than likely it'll just be Brock Lesnar going in there and just destroying the shit out of Kofi Kingston, looking strong going into Battleground against Seth Rollins. But yeah, this is just an intriguing matchup, and it's going to be fun to watch Brock Lesnar just destroy people because that's pretty much what he does. But yeah, definitely go with Brock Lesnar and probably a squash against Kofi Kingston.
Squashed Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. Next matchup, man, we hope this gets televised because this could be some good stuff because I think they will actually have a lengthier match out of this one. We have Chris Jericho going up against the man that gravity forgot Neville. Yeah, this is awesome. This is just the genius of a Chris Jericho. This is how awesome he is. The fact that he just wants to go out there and he wants to work with talented guys that are young and up-and-coming guys in the business that he hasn't got an opportunity to work with. Different styles, different types of matches and different types of athletes and everything like this. He wants to get in there with guys that, hey, I see that guy. That guy is fucking awesome. He's got hella talent. He's got potential. He's got a future in this business. I want to get in there and work with that guy. I want to make that guy look great. Even though he already looks great, I want to go in there with a guy like, a Chris Jericho stature worth the multiple time championships, undisputed champion, this and that, and revolutionizing the way you look at a professional wrestler, which I think Chris Jericho did. He's one of the guys that made you look at professional wrestling in a different manner, in a different way, because that's just Chris Jericho's mark on the wrestling industry, in my opinion. Because he changed the way that a lot of people looked at it. Same way as Shawn did, same way Punk did, same way, a lot of these guys, Bryan did. Jericho is definitely one of those guys that made you look at, guys and what they're capable of doing, the look at who they are, the stature of who they are. Chris Jericho is one of those guys. And going in there with a hot upcomer with WWE, with Neville, everything great that he was doing in NXT, and then coming up to the main roster, still looking solid. And this is just Chris Jericho wanting to go in there, work with a young guy, make him look strong, put him over. And I fully expect Neville to get the win in this match. We'll probably see a red arrow for the finish, but should be some great stuff if given the time. And like we said, man, we hope this is on the live special, because this could be definitely one of the best matches of the night here with these two. But just so fun, and hopefully we get to see this one. But I'm going to go with Neville getting the win in this one.
I see Jericho giving Neville a nice little push here. Like Jim said, it'd be awesome to see on TV, but with this contract and everything, how sticky things can get if somebody accidentally films this or shows up on the network. But it'd be nice to see what these two can do, and maybe something in the future can happen, like on a Mania card or a SummerSlam card.
Yeah, we'd hope to see a Jericho, get on TV again and maybe do, same kind of thing he did, where he just does that little stint of, 3 to 4 to 6 months throughout the summer. I know he did it with the Bray Wyatt feud that he had, and then doing stuff with Randy and stuff like that. Hopefully we could see that, because there's a lot of fresh guys we want to see. A Jericho and a Rollins. I mean, God, that'd be fucking awesome to see that kind of shit.
Jericho and Cesaro.
Neville, Cesaro. Any guy that we see at Owens. I mean, fuck. I mean, there's so much talent that you can see a Chris Jericho working with, and he just blends well with everyone. That's just what he does. So that should be some good stuff.
Maybe he could be Cesaro's new tag partner.
That'd be tight. That'd be pretty tight. Next up, we have the main event for this show. We have the NXT title on the line when champion Kevin Owens goes up against Finn Balor. They've been hyping this thoroughly on NXT throughout television. They've been running specials on Finn Balor, specifically, about his career, about his upbringing, about his everything going on in his wrestling career. I know this past week they had everything going on that he did in New Japan, and forming the Bullet Club and doing everything and making a name for himself, and then finally getting signed by WWE and making his way through that transitional period. So to me, it's a huge setup for the future of NXT, because I think Kevin Owens has a hella bright, we both think that, hella bright future going on to the main roster with everything he's already done. Quite possibly one of the best starts to a WWE career in WWE history. I mean, that's pretty easy to say that. His first ever pay-per-view match, he defeated John Cena 1-2-3 clean right in the middle of the ring. And he's already formed, one of the best feuds of 2015 with fucking 2 matches. And all the great promos that he's done and everything that we knew Kevin Steen was capable of doing once you put him onto the WWE roster and let him be himself. Because this is basically a WWE version of Kevin Steen, and that's basically everything he's doing right now, and it's just been absolutely flawless. Loving everything he's doing there. So he has tons of stuff going on that he could be doing on the main roster. Everything with Cena, everything, going on in the future. He could work stuff with so much other stuff. We saw stuff with Cesaro and Neville and everything that we've seen him do on the main roster. So I think, I know they dabbled a lot of stuff with him and Joe. They had the match up there, which really wasn't anything special. It was just more like a teaser, maybe things to come, which I think both those guys are going to get vaulted to the main roster sooner rather than later. I don't think they waste too much time with Joe. It is an absolute waste of time if they waste any more time with Joe in NXT. It's just ridiculous. So I think both those guys get vaulted up soon. I think Joe gets the same type of push that Owens got, just face version pretty much on the main roster. But you need to cement the future of NXT going forward, because you have a lot of questions up in the air. Now, would it be smart to maybe have one of those guys maybe stay down in NXT for a bit with guys healing up, like the Itamis and Sami Zayns, who are going to be out at least till towards the tail end of fall with Itami and a Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn a big question mark with everything going on with him, with the concussions and the injuries here and the surgeries and the arm and this and that and everything stacking up. So there could be some trouble there with the talent kind of getting decreased a little bit, but there's guys that you could start to give more time to, the Tyler Breezes or the Solomon Crows or obviously the Finn Balors. So I mean, I think there's a lot of potential to move up some guys that were maybe getting a little bit held down because of how much is on the top of the card with the Owens and the Joes and the Finn Balors and the Tommies and stuff like that, and Sami Zayn's. So I think you could start to move some of these guys up and see what they're capable of going towards the top of the card. But to me, I think there's going to be some shenanigans toward the tail end of this. I think you could possibly have Cena maybe come out and maybe do a little distraction-y type thing to continue their feud, and then pass the torch over for NXT over to a Finn Balor. To me, I think this is a perfect idea. This is a perfect setup because you make it feel big by having it be the first fucking live broadcast in Japan. You have it on the WWE Network. You have it below guys like Chris Jericho, or above guys like Chris Jericho, above matches with Brock Lesnar. So you make this feel big. So it's not a bad thing to Kevin Owens to drop the NXT title. To me, I think it has to happen. Yes, it is awesome that they have the NXT Open Challenges. They have an NXT figure on WWE television, but they've got that over. They've gotten that over completely fine. They've got it to where this is the NXT guy. He's the guy that's coming up from the underground, and he's taken over the mainstream and everything like that. They've gotten that over. They've gotten the NXT title on camera, on broadcast, tons of times now, and they've gotten that part over. So I think it's okay with that. You need to start to now let Baylor go run NXT, do everything that he can do down there, which is going to be great stuff, and let Kevin Owens move on and cut that, hit that tie and have him move on stuff. You want to continue stuff with Cena, if you want to continue stuff with maybe U.S. title run, wherever the case may be. But I think you need to cut that tie with the NXT title here at this show, because it, to me, is the absolute perfect opportunity. You move on with Baylor with NXT, you move on Kevin Owens with the great feud that he's having with Cena, possibly going towards the U.S. title, and we know of the U.S. title being on the line at Battleground. And that further continues if you have a John Cena interaction at the tail end of this match. It helps further that feud with Cena and Owens, and it helps Baylor and NXT all in one fell swoop. So I think this is the right move to get Baylor the NXT title here, and they give it the correct amount of time. It's going to be a great match too. So I think you kill two birds with one stone. You have the great match, and you have the great outcome that helps two people in two separate ways going into the future. You're helping NXT, and you're helping Kevin Owens all at one time. So I think this should be some good stuff. And I think the right call right here is to get Finn Balor the NXT title. Really looking forward to this one. It should be some great stuff.
Could you just imagine the entrance Finn Balor can do?
Oh, God, it's going to be fucking epic.
I see Finn Balor win this. Like Jamin said, there's a lot of question marks coming up. And when you get a guy that's been around for multiple years, and Finn Balor, just let him go nuts. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah.
We've all seen what he can do in Japan. We've all seen the stuff on NXT. Just let's roll. Let's see what he can do. And like Jamin said, having Owens go up to the WWE roster is smart, but I also don't think Joe's going to jump up yet. I think he may have a little something with Finn Balor, and then he'll go up.
That'd be great.
Just to get his feet wet in WWE's terms and what they do. And what I assume it's the same wrestling as Ring of Honor, but just to get his bearings set and all that before he jumps up to something big like that. I see WWE going out and get a little more indie guys coming up soon with all these injuries and question marks, and like if Dolph does leave, or if Daniel Bryan doesn't come back, or if Sami Zayn doesn't come back, you still have all these holes that you need to fill. So.
Yeah, and you still have a guy that we really haven't even mentioned on our show yet, which is a Yuha Nation, a guy who was working in PWG, jacked, fucking athletic, bigger guy. I think you could start to give him an opportunity, and they showed him on NXT. They did the contract and out the thing, so. Yeah, I think signing some guys and then maybe pushing him as well, I think, towards the top would maybe be a good idea.
But I think this is going to be a great beat in the 4th of July in our America.
America! But yeah, a great point that Quaddy made, being in Japan and having the entrance of a Finn Balor and having all the history that Finn Balor has in Japan, and having him win the NXT title, his first major title for WWE, winning it in Japan, where he made his name and got him to where he is now today, I think would be a great story. And all of to me, and they kind of give it away, in my opinion, a little bit too, with the video packages and the vignettes showing his journey and through Japan and all that kind of stuff, and his quest to win the NXT title. It's just perfectly set up for this.
See, they still also have a week for Kevin Owens they can do this week.
True.
So you don't know.
True. Yeah, because we are. I don't know when I'm going to upload this, but we'll probably upload it towards the middle of the week. We're doing this Sunday before the week ahead. That's going to lead to the Saturday for July 4th in this show. So who knows what happens in the week leading up? Probably some setup, and hopefully they, pimp it on Raw on Monday, which already happened. Back to the Future. So hopefully they still pimp all this kind of stuff, and they get this show over to where people know about it and know what's going on here, because I think it could be some fun stuff. A lot of stuff will probably be some throwaway house show Raw type stuff, but some stuff should be really good, and I think this main event will for sure deliver and be some really great stuff. live in Tokyo, Japan on the WWE Network. That is fucking fun to say, and that's really awesome that we get to say that. So this one I'll wrap up our WWE The Beast in the East preview. That is weird to say. Be sure to check out our review. I don't know, probably about 8, 9 in the morning on fucking Saturday. It'll probably be uploaded midday by Saturday.
Whoever's awake.
If I'm still awake, if any of us are still awake, we'll be sitting there doing the review, half passed out, fucking tired as shit.
Blowing up shit.
Blowing up shit. Maybe 4th of July. You never know what's going to happen on the polls. But yeah, hopefully we'll get that preview up for you midday on 4th of July. So we will see you then. For my partner, Quaddy. Solid. I am J-Man. Thank you guys for watching another edition of Pro Wrestling Pulse, the Pulse, Professional Wrestling World.